Hi there. All right. Basically, I'm making this video to kind of do a review of my hunting gear and my the alterations I made to the backpack that I chose to go with. I primarily saddle hunt, and really this is a review of the backpack in particular, but just with a few customizations, I can kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what's possible with the backpack. I've been searching for a backpack for a really long time, especially for saddle hunting, that was as compact as I could get it, fit all of my gear, but at the same time would give me the ability to expand, especially during the winter when I've got more clothes to carry. I need to be able to pack on more things onto the pack when that came around. So anyway, this is the pack. You can get it on Amazon. It's I think it's about $40 or something like that. It's the best backpack I've ever been able to find. Unfortunately, I've never found a backpack that was 100% exactly the way I needed it. And my guess is most people kind of feel that way. And so I just decided I bought myself a sewing machine and I made some alterations. I really recommend just getting into doing a little bit of that. You can get into sewing for like less than $100 or about $100. So it's definitely worth it, especially considering a lot of hunting backpacks are over $150. So for a $40 backpack plus $100 worth of sewing gear, you can make exactly what you need. So anyway, what I've done, I've made some modifications here that allow me to hook my bow to the back of the pack, and it's pretty simple how it's put on there. The other thing I've added on here, alteration I made, I asked the manufacturer if they could send me just another handle, and they were gracious enough to send me, they sent me another pack that had been returned for damages or something like that, and so I got the other handle. But I went ahead and put on the side, I attached one of the handles just like what you got on the top. And so what you can do with this is whenever you've got the bow on the pack, if you imagine it on the floor, you have to pick it up. If you're picking it up on the ground, the bottom of the cam on your bow is going to hit the ground. So I put another handle on the side here so you can just pick it up off the side like this. And mainly, this is so when you pick it up off the ground, you can easily just sling it over your shoulder and go. Now the pack has a hip belt. I used to use a Molly system hip belt, and I found that the padding on it actually took away from the, it pinched me on the sides. I'm not a big framed guy, so you know it's possible that that was the reason that the Molly system hip belt might be better. But this one, the way it is, it has just enough padding there, but not so much padding that it has little pinch points on it. So anyway, and it's a removable hip belt, so if you don't want to use it at all, you don't have to. I just find that once you get enough weight in the pack, you usually want a hip belt. So, and unfortunately, with hunting gear, especially when you want to get hands-free like this, you kind of have to deal with having a little bit of weight to deal with on your back, because literally everything you're going to be using is on your back. So anyway, this is it. It's got the chest strap, or the sternum strap. It's got the hip belt. I added, so on the side here, I sewed on some little Molly webbing, custom Molly webbing, very simple, just got some 1-inch strap. And the main reason for this is because I typically like to keep my GPS on the side here, and I like to have it quick and handy access so I can put it away. So when I get to the tree or wherever I'm hiking out to, usually that'll be I'll carry the GPS as I'm walking, and then I'll take the you know, when I get to the tree, I just turn it off and, you know, put it back in. But that gets it out of the way. Also, I like to keep my cell phone, keys, stuff like that in here as well. just so that way I have quick access to it and I don't have to take the pack off or have pockets somewhere. It's like it's there because I have my gear. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my bow off. So the bow, how I attached it, it's just some 2 straps is all it is that I made these custom straps. They're very simple to make, but basically it's 2 buckles and got a little caught on there, and that's the bow. And then for the bow, I went ahead and bought. They have this cam. It's a shoulder. It's a sling wrap, but this fits over the cam, so that way I feel like I've got a little bit more protection on the cams as we're walking, through the woods. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside here. All right, so then, and as you can see, like that was, I put those on here with just the 2 straps right here. And I'll show you, I can actually take these straps off here. So basically, to make these straps, you just sew a little loop on one end, and like I said, I sewed that on there with just like a little box thing. And then on this side, you just sewed on these little buckles. So I bought these buckles and I bought these strapping material. And then on this particular side I sewed on some MOLLE webbing, just a strip here, so that I could attach this to it. On this side, originally there wasn't really any. There actually wasn't anything here, so that's why I put that there. And then it's pretty simple, so you just loop it or girth hitch it through itself, and now you've got that strap on there. And then, same idea on the other side. On the other side, for that strap, it actually already had some webbing, some MOLLE webbing on it, and it goes lengthwise, so it was facing the correct direction. In addition to that, I added on, I put a Thermos in here I typically like hot chocolate in the morning. I like having it on stand, keeps me warm. It's kind of nice. It's a spirit lifter sometimes when it's cold and a little miserable out. But you should definitely dress warm. You shouldn't rely on that, but it is still a spirit lifter. Anyway, that, and then I put a snack on the side here. The reason for that is when I hang this on the tree, I put this on this side just because I typically hang the backpack on the other side of the tree, because I saddle hunt, I face the tree. So on the other side, the back side of the tree is where I actually end up hanging the pack. And with that, I can just kind of swing over to the right a little bit, and I've got access to my Thermos and my snack here. So it's got 4 buckles on the backpack. So you can just undo these on the sides, and that allows you to get access to the main compartment. On the outside, so the outside of the pack, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. On the outside here, basically I got my deer calls, I got my deer cleaning kit, which is a knife and my tag and all of that, so that I can claim the deer and everything. And then I also keep, I bought a, and I'll put links to the backpack and anything else in this setup in the description. But I've got just a regular orange vest, so if at any point in time I feel like I need to put it on, I hear hunters, and sometimes if I hear gunshots going off near me, and even if it's during the bow season, sometimes I will put the orange on, or at least hang it on the tree that I'm at. And then this other piece, this is a orange backpack cover. It's like a rain cover, and this fits over the backpack really nicely, and that's just so that I don't have to worry about you know, my backside not having orange showing there. So that's basically it for that outside compartment. Something I started doing is on the middle compartment, I actually have a complete trauma kit here. So they've got just this webbing, and I've got this is able to treat any kind of a gunshot or any kind of wound. There's chest seals and compression bandages and all that kind of stuff. That brings us to the main compartment. So in the main compartment, oh, and I think I'll mention before I take this out, one thing I did. So I know a lot of people are familiar with the Doyle's gear hoist. So on the bottom, I actually put crimped one of these. I don't know if you can see it from there. I crimped one of these. There it is. So I cut out a little hole in the bottom of the backpack, and I crimped one of these little eyelets on, which you can get the whole kit and everything you need from Walmart or someplace for, you know, like where your sewing equipment is. And then, yeah, this is the gear hoist, and basically you just, you know, it's just a little knot that's in there that keeps it on there. So you just undo that knot. Don't let it retract. I used like a binder clip to keep it from retracting all the way through. So I undid it, looped it through, and then I retied it on here. And so now, right when I get to the tree, I don't have to get into the backpack or anything, or, well, have to worry about that, but when to climb the tree. So this I'll just connect to the bow, and then as I climb with the backpack is my plan, then this will just retract as I go. Okay, so in here, basically, yeah, you've got a little clip here so you can keep your platform in here secure. So basically all you have to do is unclip that, and then this whole thing comes out. So, you know, your Predator platform. So it's pretty simple. And then I was telling you about the gear hoist. So what I did is at Walmart, again, I stitched on this, it's just an elastic band, and it's a I think it's a 2 or 3 inch, yeah, that's about 2 inches. It's like a 2-inch band, and I just sewed that in there, and then I just slid the gear hoist in there, and then, you know, like I said, it goes out the bottom here. So that just stays in place, so it's not like flying around inside the pack. So I think that's about it. The only thing left on this pack, and you know what, let me give you one more, I'll give you a little bit closer look since I'm here, about how I've got the trauma kit. So here's the trauma kit all lined out in here, and then it fits in there real nice. And I'll leave a link to the trauma kit that I got. I'm not using the bag that came with it, but I'm using all the gear in it. And I also bought some, I think, some quick clot bandages as well. So anyway, and then on the outside, let's see if I can get this with a single hand. Okay, I couldn't get it with a single hand, but anyway, like I said, deer calls. I'm trying this out. This is brand new. This year, I forget what that's called. The backpack rain cover, and of course orange, and then the vest that I can put on whenever I need it. And then this here, so what I've done with this is for rifle season, typically my, you know, typically you see some backpacks have a you know, a butt, you know, a rifle butt, what is that called? I don't know what it's called. I couldn't even search it online. Just something to put the butt of the gun into. So my brother actually made this for me, and so I'm gonna sew on some straps onto this, and then hang it onto the back of the backpack, and maybe sew on a couple more straps somewhere in here, and have them come down so that you can put the butt of the gun in, and then I can use these same straps that I used for the bow for the top part of the rifle. So that's
that's the plan with that. Let me go ahead and zip this up, and then so the last thing really here, the last thing is these bottom two straps. These straps are for climbing sticks. So my plan is to get the tethered 1 climbing sticks just because they're lighter weight and they're more compact, and they're pretty much exactly what I've been looking for in a climbing stick. So I'm just waiting for them to come out with that. But once I get those, my plan is to put them on the bottom of the pack here. So literally everything will be on this pack: your climbing sticks, the bow, all the gear you could need. So let me zip this up. Okay, so after zipping this up, so the cool thing about this pack that I was saying before is, so my saddle fits in here, but also I can put my jacket on the inside of this. And currently you can see all this extra material that's on the side. That's because this is expandable. So you can actually make this a deeper pack. And that I really like that feature, because when I have my First Light, top coat, coat jacket, that a lot of times I will carry extra clothes and that sort of thing into the woods. So this allows me to put it inside. And then the other thing is, so when I'm climbing the tree, I'm actually not going to get any of this out until I get to the top of the tree. So one of the things is that my jacket and stuff, I typically don't like to put that stuff on until I'm up the tree also, because, well, it's a little bit of work to get up the tree, So let me show you what it looks like with it expanded, so you can kind of get an idea here. This is how much, how much material I have, how much depth I actually have here currently. So now, once I've deployed the expanded section, which is basically just, a zipper, just like a suitcase, an expandable suitcase, it's quite a bit deeper. I mean, before, when you kind of see the bottom, was under my thumb, really. So, I mean, it adds like an extra 3 inches or something like that in there, and then you've got, of course, the whole compartment. So it's pretty deep. Definitely could fit a jacket in. And like I said, so that literally will carry every single piece that I have, as far as what I could possibly use for hunting. This is the backpack I've decided to go with, and like I said, I'll leave a link in the description with literally the whole gear list, and then I'll try to leave links to things that I know where I got. Add comments or anything that any ideas that you think might make it better. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask.